So let's now look at what's already out there in the sector. Often one of the questions that we get asked is who's doing this already? I could do a whole talk on the upsides and downsides of that question. But if you do want to be able to go away straight after this video and look at some pre-existing programs and schemes that already exist, then let's have a look at firstly what's available, a sample of what's available from visitor attractions. Here's a smattering of schemes which already exist in the UK across heritage, nature-based attractions, museums and galleries, and zoos. Unless we say otherwise in the additional information, you can assume these tickets are available only to people on universal or pension credit or other benefits. So just to highlight some of the practices on display here, you've got free entry for residents only in Bath. That's a city with large numbers of domestic and inbound tourists each summer season. You've got historic royal palaces, including 50% off catering with their ticket. You've got first come, first served limited volumes at Eden Project, which is a very high demand visitor attraction. There's Yorkshire Sculpture Park's open concession approach, which we helped to create, where anyone can ask for a concession or access a concession, whether they are on benefits or not. You've got seasonality, so the offer is confined to the shoulder months of the year. And you've got booking conditions and time slot restrictions. And you'll see on this chart the prices range here from £1 to £6. For the performing arts, a £10 price point is more common because generally, of course, performing arts organisations are working with less capacity, less inventory, and so there do have to be more rules and eligibility requirements. You're going to see phrases like selected performances more often. The National Theatre of Scotland effectively run their own seat filler club where you can sign up to a mailing list for discount codes. Bristol Old Vic operate the open concession model coupled with pay it forward. So anyone can choose to pay a fixed price point below or above the default price. The Lyceum has a varying level of discount based on the level of risk that the customer is willing to take. You get a greater discount for waiting until the day, which leaves the full priced inventory on sale for longer. You do see more pay what you can. And I guess what I would just say is this, I totally recognize there's a fervent love of pay what you can in our sector. It's a way for an organization to kind of signal its pricing values. But if we are trying to make the arts feel less alien to some audiences, to make it feel more familiar, then after a decade of pay what you can in the arts, I guess I would just reflect on the fact there's really no other sector following us on this. There's no other industry really where I would walk in with next to no prior knowledge of it and have them turn around and ask me how much I want to pay. I should also take this opportunity to highlight a scheme called Tickets for Good, which is basically a national seat filler scheme in the UK. It's just rolling out in the US as well, in which ticket sellers can release their spare inventory at low prices to NHS workers, charity workers, and people on low incomes if they are members of the scheme. Let's now, though, take a look at what you can do yourself in-house. So we're going to look at this pricing accessibility in practice through the lens of 4 schemes, 2 visitor attractions, 2 performing arts organisations. Starting first with Kew Gardens' Queue for £1 ticket scheme. Kew allow entry for £1 to recipients of benefits. So the usual price is £22 at the height of summer, and that includes a donation. Purchasers buying this £1 ticket do have the option to add a £1 donation themselves, so they can pay £2 in total per adult. And you have to provide proof of benefits at the gate. For Kew, this is the fastest growing ticket type in their financial year 22-23. It's proven really popular. There is demand there, and that with donation option is actually really popular. For ZSL, London and Whipsnade zoos, like Kew, they have a with and without donation price point with a £1 differential. ZSL's pricing at £6 with donation for an adult is closer to our research's revenue maximisation point. The scheme is well used. It's highly popular, in part due to very strong social media word of mouth at launch. The Young Vic Theatre, moving into the performing arts, have a scheme called Neighbourhood Theatre, which is open to residents of the London boroughs of Lambeth and Southwark, so it's geo-gated. Participants join a mailing list. They can apply for up to 2 tickets to a Young Vic production. Free and discounted tickets are offered, and there are participation opportunities also. The Young Vic team kindly gave us data on how the scheme is going. So there are 10,000 on the mailing list, 10,000 people. About 10% of them apply for tickets and about 3% participate in workshops. The team also kindly gave us this comment. What sets our program apart is that we completely remove the barrier of cost, as not only do we supply free tickets, but we also help with travel and provide food. The program is part of our core mission as opposed to an add-on, which allows young people to feel they belong in buildings like ours. Removing barriers to entry, making them feel like they belong and that the Young Vic is for them is the ultimate goal. Finally, our fourth scheme, the Traverse Theatre in Edinburgh, and their £1 ticket scheme. It's available to anyone aged under 25 and anyone on low income benefits. It was introduced in 2018, so it's perhaps the longest standing of the programs we're looking at here. Discounts are applied in the basket, with the recipient first seeing the full face value of the ticket, so the extent of the discount that they're receiving is known. You join the £1 ticket scheme by completing a simple sign-up form, and here is that form: name, email, phone, tick a box to say why you're eligible. It's a 214-seater venue, so here we're looking at a scheme which works when the available inventory is potentially small. It's first come, first served. The number of seats available at £1 varies relative to demand, and new customers are the biggest users, so it has an audience development impact also. So 4 examples of really straightforward but impactful low price ticket schemes. And we're coming into the home straight now with a bit more research.